In this video, I'm going to take a look at the most used weapons in Battlefield 1 using statistics that have been compiled by several websites, all of which can be found in the description down below. These weapons aren't necessarily the best in the game, but are certainly the most popular. I'm sure you won't be surprised by a few of them. I've tried my best to compile PC and console data together, and the website Battlefield Tracker has allowed me to do so. Now, if you were to look at PC individually or consoles individually, I'm sure there'd be some sort of variation as some weapons are more popular on different consoles, but for this video, we'll keep them all together just to make it simple. Now let's start out with the most popular weapon on the game for the Assault class. The website has allowed me to split the weapons up into SMGs and shotguns, which in my opinion is the fairest way to do it, because obviously the SMGs are slightly different to the shotguns and there's a definite line down the middle. The clear winner in the SMG class is the Hellriegel 1915 factory with a whopping 50% of total kills recorded with the SMGs in the Assault class. And remember, this data is being taken in the month of November, so of course this has changed over time, but as we're looking at it from today's date, well, I suppose I got this information a couple of days ago, this is as close as you're going to get to accurate information. Following in second place, you have the Automatico Storm with 20% of the total SMG kills, and the trench variant of that is close behind in third place. Can we really be surprised with the Hellriegel and two Automatico variants being the top SMGs in the Assault class? I don't really think so. I think the MP18 Trench is probably the closest weapon to these that isn't an Automatico or a Hellriegel, but again, they are so far behind, especially with the Hellriegel amassing 50% of total kills. It clearly shows that that gun is a fan favourite and is maybe a little bit overpowered in the Assault class. I personally think it is. I think the Automatico is balanced because it can't do anything at range. However, it is a pain to play against because it does just melt you at close range. Maybe a longer reload would sort that weapon out, and the Hellriegel, in my opinion, should either do less damage per shot or should have a far longer cooldown if you were to go fully automatic. As for the shotguns, the clear winner, comes as no surprise again, is the 10A Hunter, with nearly 70% of players wanting to take a shotgun, opting for it. The 10A Slug and Factory hold the second and third spots respectively, but way down in the single digits. This again is no real surprise to me. The Model 10A Hunter is by far the best shotgun. If you've never used it before, you should definitely give it a blast. You will completely annihilate players at most ranges. It's got quite a lot of range as well for a shotgun, which is surprising. And I feel as if the reload, the amount of times you can spam enemies and just fire at multiple enemies as well because of the spread and the way it can take down enemies as well without a complete shot on their body is just insane. Again, very, very overpowered, and was even more overpowered on the release of the game. Maybe something needs to be done to bring the other shotguns up to the 10A's level, or bring the Hunter down as well, maybe meet in the middle. You want to be using all the weapons in the Assault class if possible. Same goes for all the other classes in the game. What's the point of having weapons if they're just not up to the task? So let's move on to the Medic class. In the Medic class, we're going to take a look at the self-loading rifles. The SLRs are slightly more close than the other classes of weapons, with lots of guns clearly being popular amongst players. As you saw with the Assault class, there were a few favourites, but with the Medic class you have got several that are fighting for those top three spots. Throughout most of last year, the M1907 Sweeper was the clear winner. However, since the beginning of September, the autoloading 8.25 is ahead with 14.5% of total kills. In second place is the Selbstlader 1916 Marksman with 14.4% of total kills, and in third place you have the M1907 Sweeper with 14%. Again, these are very, very close, and obviously week by week this will change slightly, so all three of those weapons are pretty much equal in terms of the amount of kills they get. However, at the time of making this video, the autoloading 8 was ahead. But again, as I say, this changes all the time. I think this is most likely down to the DLC release and the need to use and unlock different guns, which has meant the M1907 Sweeper, which was ahead by miles for most of 2017, has now dropped down slightly. It's also worth noting that on console, the M1907 Sweeper is by far the most popular medic weapon. Switching over to the support class, we can have a look at the LMGs. In first place, we have the BAR 1918 Storm, with a massive 27.8% of total LMG kills. In second place we have the MG15 Suppressive with 9%, and in third place we have the Parabellum MG14/17 Low Weight with 8.2% of total kills. I'm very surprised with the Parabellum only being at 8.2% because it is such a good gun. I know it's hidden behind the DLC, and I know that you have to unlock it, and it can be quite difficult to unlock the low weight, the optical slightly easier. But the Parabellum is by far the best gun in the class. If you've never used it, you definitely should. It's like having an Automatico with a whole load more rounds. The BAR 1918 Storm is very, very fun to use. I was using it the other day on stream, had an absolute blast using it. Even though it's got quite a small magazine size for an LMG, it's very, very effective if you get the right sort of range, and you can take out multiple enemies in hip-fire sprays. The MG15 is your go-to LMG if you want a lot of rounds in a magazine. You want to be just mowing down enemies on pretty much any map, any range. You can use the bipod, go prone, and do, as it says in the name, suppress. No surprise that that gun has 9% of the total kills. Again, the rest of the weapons share around 50% of the kills that were left. No real favourite to challenge the BAR 1918. Now onto the Scout class and the most popular rifle. The most popular rifle for players to use in Battlefield 1 is the SMLE Marksman, with 14.2% of players choosing that. It's no surprise really, 10 rounds, a great sweet spot, very fast reload. The gun is very overpowered in my opinion, and a lot of people say that the Scout class is very balanced with sniper rifles, but for me the SMLE does everything too well. The fact it's got 10 rounds and the fact it's got a very quick reload means that you can be doing a whole load of damage, and even if you miss a lot of shots you're not really punished because of course you can just fire more. In second place we have the Martini Henry Infantry with 13% of total kills, and in third place we have the SMLE Carbine with 8.2%. The SMLE Carbine is very, very popular on console. On PC, at least, I know it's not, and I think it might have something to do with the aim assist, making it more powerful on console. I can't be certain, but people in the comments can probably tell me. Moving on to the most popular sidearm in Battlefield 1, we have the M1911 with over 23% of total kills. In second place we have the Mars Automatic with 16%, which is a personal favourite of mine, and in third place we have the Frommerstop with 10% of kills, again a weapon I enjoy using quite a lot. I don't feel as if this is really that important knowing how many kills people have with sidearms, because a lot of people don't switch up the sidearm as much as the primary weapon, but it is interesting to see that the Mars Automatic is so popular. It's almost like the World War I equivalent of a Desert Eagle. Now for some other interesting facts. The most used melee weapon is of course the bayonet charge with 20% of all melee kills, but apart from that, the cavalry sword consists of nearly 20% of all melee kills, with the sawtooth knife its closest competitor with 7%. The grenades, well, the normal frag grenade dominates the total kills with 50% of all kills, while the gas grenade is in second place with 20% and the incendiary in third with 15%. If you're looking to change up your grenade strategy, the incendiary is very, very effective at mopping up lots of enemies that are low on HP, blocking little doorways and windows, and maybe objectives. Say you have an MCOM you need to arm, drop an incendiary on it, the enemies cannot push it while friendlies can. Of course the normal frag grenade is going to dominate because that's what most people use at the start of a game. It's very effective. I think the impact might be a little more effective because of the way that it has a very large splash radius and you can actually launch it into groups of enemies again, but the frag, clearly, with 50% of all kills, is the winner. The most popular gadget in Battlefield 1 in terms of the kills it yields is the rocket gun with 23.8% as of making this video, closely followed by the anti-tank grenades with 23.4%, and in third, the dynamite with 17.7%. That clearly shows why the assault class is so damn popular. It's because the gadgets can do so much more damage than everything else in the game, which is fair enough because you are an assault class. The medic does other stuff, the support does other stuff, but it is interesting to see how many kills people are getting with rocket guns and anti-tank grenades, and I guarantee most of those are not on enemy tanks, they're actually on infantry, which is a big problem in my eyes. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like down below. Let me know what your favourite gun for each class is down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.